Hey, Scott Russell, I wanted to give an overview of my thoughts on the current global events and where it's all headed. There's a lot going on, and that's for sure. And I think, as I've said, if you've followed any of my videos, it's so important to stay focused on where this is all going, and know your enemy really. And I just recently had my TikTok closed for the second time, and the videos that trigger it are WEF. If I share a WEF video, it is immediately limited, shadow ban. I'll get 2 people watch it. Then if I do a duet with it in TikTok and I share it out so that it's in a different format, it'll go to hundreds, if not thousands, while the other one will sit on 2. So there's a lot of drama, a lot of things that it's more than drama, a lot of problems that have just been created globally. And when you stick to WEF, you stick to who's doing this, what's the cause of this, you will be censored. They want us focused on the drama. They want us focused on everything that's going on and the atrocities and the craziness of the world right now. And if they can get us focused on that, we don't see who it is that's the initiating and causing this to happen. The World Economic Forum is an organization that has not hidden its agenda. It has said what it is doing, and it has come out very plainly and done that. So people can talk about a conspiracy theory. This goes beyond conspiracy now because they're not hiding. They've come out and said, this is what we're doing. Now the responsibility is on you and I to actually listen to what they've said and say, are they doing what they've said? And they are 100% following through with everything they said they were going to do. One of those things is a multipolar world. People get all excited about a multipolar world. That's WEF terms. There is no such thing as a multipolar world. What they're saying is they're going to decentralize from the US, and they are going to run the world. So it'll be unipolar, but it'll be unipolar behind the scenes, as it currently is anyway. And we're going to have the illusion of multipolar. BRICS is part of this supposed multipolar world, and they even use that language. People are saying, well, China's our saving grace. No, China's part of a multipolar world. It's look up online, look at the WEF. In fact, I'll put a clip now of some of the people that are in the WEF.
It's pretty interesting here. So when you have Putin, right? Putin, and you see the same exact logo, and then you have, Xi Jinping and Biden, same logo right in the background, right? Then you have this situation. I mean, you can see that America is obviously not in power here. You can tell how submissive this relationship is, right? Then you can see you have Zelensky right here, same logo in the background. Then Prime Minister, Israel, same logo in the background, right? They're all in the club. We're not.
Putin and Xi Jinping and Biden, it just goes on and on and on. So Iran, the war over there in the Middle East, it's when all else fails, they take you to war, as Gerald Celente constantly says, and the Trends Institute in New York. I agree with him. America's desperate. Desperate people do desperate things. They are trying to break the US. They have to break the US of its nationalism. They have to get it in such chaos. They are bringing people over the border that are military-aged fighting men, and no, they're not bringing their women and children with them. And you say, well, are they trained soldiers? No, I don't believe that. I think they're just coming over because they know there's going to be chaos, and they know these people are going to help to bring chaos. Because when you migrate, you become a survivor. You're not there long term. You don't have roots. You're looking to survive. And when you're in a surviving mentality, it's amazing what will come up in you. And I've been in some of those situations, and I can tell you that the mindset changes and it's not that they're bad people, it's just a survival mindset. And a survival mindset is very different to what most normal people have ever known. I know when you don't know where your next meal is coming from, you overeat. If you have a meal now and you don't know where the next one's coming from, you will stuff yourself today. And you start to get fat off of not knowing where your next meal's coming from. There's a lot of things people do when self-preservation is there. and even preservation for their family. But if there's not a deep love and a deep commitment and a deep respect, a soul spirit bonding in a relationship, as things hit, it will blow apart. Because if it's got that psychopathic edge of a partnership of just using each other, it'll collapse. And a lot of our marriages, a lot of relationships are such, and they won't last. They're already having troubles. So I think it's important to be with the right people around your life that you want to walk this with. Build into that. Build into the people that are like spirit with you. You're one with them. They will collapse the US currency. I have no doubt in my mind. I saw vision of it 20 years ago. So for me, I'm 100% convinced. Whether you believe in visions or not, I really don't, is irrelevant to me. But I do. And so I know that this is going to cause currency collapse. The economists look and say, oh, that's crazy. We're going to, trade here, do this there. No, Mr. Economist, I think you've never been educated in what this world's about to see. And it's about time you zoom back and start to clear your glasses and look at it from a whole new street perspective. These men are taking over the world. They are doing the same thing globally. They pull the financial strings of the world. The financial systems of this world are run and orchestrated by these men. Men like Peter Schiff, a good man, a good economist that I've followed for years, and he's talked about crashes and the dollar. It hasn't happened yet because these men are behind the scenes pulling the strings. Not Peter Schiff, but the globalists. And so I think as an economist, you do well to stop and look and say, okay, what would the world look like if they did crash the dollar? And if you say, well, dollars don't crash, then he who puts his head in the sand is bound to get burnt in the end. Because I can tell you now, currencies come and go all the time around the world. Look at the Cruzeiro in Brazil. Overnight, crash. They don't give you warning. Overnight, boom, it's gone. You're going to wake up one day and the US dollar will be gone. The Australian dollar will be gone. And because they where's it going to go? And they're bringing up this CBDC. In Australia, we already have a card, which I'll put a clip on. You can see the card.
It looks like an ordinary debit card, but this goes beyond any technology ever seen in Australia. A first-of-its-kind central bank digital currency, or EAUD, smart card.
Most people probably think of things like Bitcoin, which is a cryptocurrency, but this is a very different proposition that is actually tied to the Australian dollar and used in the same way that cash.
That CBDC card is to replace cash. I was talking to a friend that's probably smarter in some of these areas than I am, and he was talking about how countries like China regulate, their currency, so they're able to just say we're having central bank digital currency. But for the West to go from cash to a central bank digital currency, they have to try to do something to get them to mesh. And people are not just going to do away with their cash if they don't have to. So it's going to be coercion. Here in Australia, they're making it the banks aren't taking money. Over certain amounts of money have got to be reported. You can't transact in certain amounts of cash. They're doing everything they can to destroy that. In the US, they know that there's going to be a major pushback if they try to get rid of the US currency. So they have given currency to anything and everything. I have a friend that's with the venture capitalists in New York. He said a lot of unpublicized facts are they are giving hundreds of $millions into venture capitalist ideas, stupid ideas that will go nowhere. But they have to get the money out. These governments are purposely send the money out, inflate the money, and then it'll crash because it'll be worthless. But the central bank digital currency will be solid. So they will say, one central bank digital currency dollar will buy you a loaf of bread, or it'll cost you, 500 regular cash. That's just a number I pull out of the air. But that's the principle what we're talking here. How are they going to get that in the US? They are going to bring chaos. And when they bring chaos, people will look for a solution. And when somebody stands up as a voice that says, I have a solution, it's central bank digital currencies, the US will embrace it. Well, they want it to be embraced. People are worried about food shortages. You can look and see they've burnt food plants. They have this all planned. They have destroyed. Oh, that's conspiracy junk. Yeah, okay. Keep telling yourself that, and keep telling yourself that when you're looking for food. And the WEF has come out and said it. They're not hiding it. We are going to reduce the world's population from, what was it, 7 billion to 500 million or a billion or whatever it was they said. They plan on it. They're not hiding it. You're the one hiding from it if you don't believe it. And ignorance is no excuse. Do your homework. Do your homework. It's not hidden. So yes, I think the US is going to crash and collapse, but when all else fails, they take you to war. So what do? I mean, I think, again, a lot of the countries have kind of like control, but not really. So they're trying to survive, but behind the scenes, the globalists and the WEF are controlling very much what happens. So it gives the illusion of we're trying to do the right thing, and they're not. So as all else fails, they take you to war in the US. They go over into the Middle East, and it was Ukraine. Then the Ukraine, it started to wane, and people are a bit burned out on that, and the money that they're sending. Again, look at it. They're sending billions. People are going, why? Why are they sending so much money from the US? Because they want to inflate the US currency. They want the money gone. It will be worthless before long. You will wake up one morning and your US currency will be toilet paper. Toilet paper will be worth more. You won't have enough currency to use for toilet paper. And I saw a vision of currency that deep on the streets of Boston, just laying there, people throwing it out the window in disgust at the God they've served for so long that's failed them. If money's your God, then you're gonna have some problems. So what do? They go into the Middle East, and I've been saying for over 6 months now that Iran is going to be the source of this, because I believe the Bible. And if the Bible end time prophecies are true, Persia, which is Iran, has to come into it. So we've been saying they will find a way to pull in Iran. Plus, I mean, from the globalist perspective, they're the wild boys of the world. If you're going to control the world and have one world government and one world domination, you have to bring the Arab nations under that. You have to bring Iran under that. And Iran won't come under that. They plan to invade Iran. Mark my words, if this is biblical, we are going to see all-out war with Iran, and they will be looking to try to take out the Ayatollah and whatever else is there that will take away from the WEF's global domination. I also believe Turkey will be pulled into this. Erdogan, he's... there's a lot of reasons for that, but again, it's biblical that I believe Turkey is involved. I think we will see Iran and Turkey being pulled in. It's going to escalate in the Middle East. I believe that another agenda in this is that they are going to try to stop or do something to influence the US elections. They know full well that America's onto the fact there's no such thing as a free and fair election. So they are looking at ways and possibilities. I don't know the laws of the US. If there's a war going on, if there's chaos on the streets, are they able to cancel the election? Pardon me, because the last thing they need is Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a nationalist. Donald Trump will throw a wrench in the works. I believe, and I've put videos up on this, that we are going to see Donald Trump in the White House again. Whether you like that or not, and but Donald Trump's done this and Donald Trump's done that. You know what? You need to stop focusing on the drama. Get down to the bottom line. The bottom line is Donald Trump is a nationalist. Donald Trump is for America, and I think we can all agree with that, right? Right? Yes, Donald Trump is a nationalist. He is pro-America. That's what the world hated about him. He looked after America's interests first. Right now, we need that. We need Donald Trump. If America falls, we'll all fall. Now, I believe, and I've said this from videos for over a year now, that I believe we will see the first round of the WEF swept away, but the second round, they will crash the currencies. And when they crash the currencies as a last resort, they will step in with their authoritarian measures. Here in Australia, where I am currently, same deal. People are so compliant here. They're asleep at the wheel. I mean, the government is bringing in a central bank digital currency, taking away all their rights with cash, and nobody breathes a peep of resistance. So, a breath of resistance. So what we're seeing here is a complete takeover of that. I shared the video here that I've just showed on previous on the central bank digital currency card. My TikTok account was shut shortly after that. Anything to do with WEF and those sort of bottom line agendas, you're in trouble. I just got it back. I'm amazed. I mean, the first time they shut me down, I never got it back. This one I've got back. Don't know for how long, but yes. So let's sum all this up. I've been talking fast because there's a lot to say. Let's sum it up. That we're going to have war in the Middle East. Iran's going to be pulled in. We're going to see more chaos on the borders. Globally, immigration has become a problem. But we are going to see in the US more and more chaos, fighting age men coming in. We're going to see the collapse of the US dollar before November 2024 presidential election, because they are going to use that to try to stop the election. Donald Trump is going to get in because of some sort of disaster or some sort of chaos. People are going to beg him to come in because, come on, let's be honest. As much if you can get aside from your prejudice that's probably being put into you from the mainstream media, yeah, Donald Trump said some things and done some things that everybody can focus on and make a big deal out of. Well, they could do that to me and you as well if we really wanted to. But let's look at Donald Trump and authority. If you had no preconceived ideas of these men, who would you follow? Biden? Trump? Who? You know, if the world collapsed and the currencies collapsed and you had to have somebody to lead you out of that, who would you want leading you out of it? Donald Trump. He carries an authority. Everything else aside, he carries an authority. And I tell you now, he has God's authority. I don't believe he's going to be president because of the good or bad that he's done. I think it's because of the authority that he carries. And I believe because God cares about his people. And I believe God is going to give you and I the chance to decide who we're going to serve. Are we going to serve God, or are we going to serve the God of this world? There will be, I believe, a mark of the beast where this is going to mutate into authoritarian measures. We're already seeing the videos where people can get chip implants. We've seen the clear tattoos that you can get. The technology's there for a mark of the beast. And people say, well, they would never use it. And I was just saying to someone the other day, well, excuse me, if I give you a Ferrari and there's no speed limits, and I give you a Ferrari, or even if there is a speed limit, and I say, this is a gift to you, but you're only, you've got to really be careful. And that person says to me, I'll only ever drive at 60 mile an hour, or 60 kilometers an hour, whatever. Then, you give that to a guy, he's lying. The guy's going to get out on that freeway and he's going to take that thing for a spin. He's going to go, especially if he knows that he's not going to get caught, that he's the authority. And if he got caught, he's able to get out of his fine or whatever. So we're handing the WEF and these globalists complete and utter control. We're handing them a brand new Ferrari, and they don't have accountability to anybody or anything and saying, oh, we'll only do 60 in it. No, they won't. They're going to take that thing to the limit. They are going to try to control the world. They've promised it. They said they've done it. 15 going to do it. 15-minute cities, they've already implemented. A lot of the places here in Australia, Newcastle and above Sydney is a 15-minute city. They've got them in England. They're bringing them in. There's the whole agenda is there. So anyway, we can get focused on all of that. And I'm saying all of this to just say that we know, you and I know we're in trouble. What's the answer? What's the answer? And there is an answer. And I've talked on many videos about that. I don't believe the answer is another man. Because, Donald Trump, we've talked about coming in, but he's not our answer to everything. It might be a little bit of a break from some of their agenda. They're in complete fear that he might get in. But what's our answer? And I've talked how I think we are wise to prepare ourselves mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And mentally, I think it's an important thing to realise this is happening. Get past the offence of where we're, I'm feeding off the drama of watching what's happening. Because when we're feeding on the drama's feeding on us. If you feed on it, it feeds on you. It needs your energy to keep going. But if you say, all right, I'm aware that's happening, but I'm staying focused on what's right for my life, and I'm building in a direction that I know. I'm not reacting, I'm acting. So I think it doesn't hurt if you can to have some little bit of food, to have a little bit of gold, to have some of those things. Do I think gold is an answer? No, I think they're going to confiscate it because they are not going to allow, they are looking for complete totalitarian control. They are not going to allow gold to be everybody's answer. But it's all not going to happen instantly. I believe the collapse will, but a lot of these things are going to take a little bit of time. And if you have a little bit of food, you have, if you can, maybe some vegetables growing in the backyard, all that's going to do is give your mind and your being a bit of a rest. You're able to, when things collapse, you're able to take a breath. And in taking a breath, you can get past the immediate pressure that might be on you. I think another good thing to do now is to be very selective and start to allow the right people to be around your life. To choose who you want to go through this with and have the right people around your life. If you have people around your life that are not of the right spirit, they're not one spirit with you, you're going to have issues. They are going to be all about themselves and not about the community of what you're doing. So I think now is a good time to build the right community of people around you that love you, care for you, would die for you, and you for them. Because otherwise, if you're there thinking they'll do that for you and you're not going to have it back the other way, then unconditional love, then they're not going to want you there. So unconditional love, be around people that can give you unconditional love, not by a decision, but by the spirit of who they are, because that's another safeguard. And in that safety, the Bible talks about it. It says when one can put 1,000 to flight, two can put 10,000 to flight. Synergizing. When we synergize in community, it gives us the ability to go far beyond where we could have gone. So get the right people around your life. Spiritually, God's talking to us in all of this. I believe for me, and I can only talk from me, what you do is on you. For me, I have a relationship with Jesus. It's not a religious one. I don't attend organized religion because I believe organized religion is no different to the government that we're being persecuted by. I believe the true church is people like you and I, and when we come together and we fellowship and we talk about God and we just have, share a meal together, enjoy the time together. And I was with someone the other day, we sat for 5 hours talking the things of God. And that's church. Church is not an organized, controlled thing. It's a living organism. And so for me, as I have surrendered my life to Jesus, and that is just saying, God or Jesus, I acknowledge you're real. Thank you that you're there. I give you control of my life. Come and live in my life and help me follow the peace. And I follow the peace. When somebody offers or tells me something, if I don't feel peace about it, I don't do it. If I feel peace, I follow the peace. And I think that's how we are going to live in these times, where we have to know how to follow the peace, because there's going to be so much noise, so many people presenting themselves as an answer, and people are lost. And when they're lost, they're looking for whoever's the loudest voice that makes the most sense. Well, I'm not looking for that. I have an inner voice of God. A movement. I believe God doesn't talk so much in words, he talks in movements. You feel the movement and we put the words on it. A movement of peace and we put the words on it. So if you don't know or you want to know more about that, you're welcome to send a message and we can maybe interact a little bit with that. But prepare with that mentally, emotionally, spiritually, emotionally. Deal with the things around your life that need to be dealt with. If you've got anger issues, if you've got those sort of issues, take them to God. Deal with it, because when pressure comes on you, you'll crack. And the pressure that's coming is immense. It's going to be immense, and it could cost your life. Because I think often when pressure comes, we get tunnel vision. As people start losing their livelihoods, losing their homes, losing their families, losing everything they've known, it's not an easy time. So get the right people around your life that can speak directly to you and listen to them. You know, I have people around my life that speak to me, and I listen because I know they love me. I know they care for me. I have other people that I've spoken directly to about things that I've felt around their life. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but some of those people react hard. They take it personal, they leave. Well, that's their choice. But I think where we're going, let the community of people that are right come around your life, not the people that are going to tell you what you want to hear. So it's funny. I got accused at one time from a group of ladies. Oh, he's such a chauvinist, and to me that's code word for he doesn't do as he's told. And I'm a man, and I'll do what men do. I do what I have a conviction and a passion to do. And just because someone's telling me what they want me to do and I don't do it does not make me a chauvinist. Because I don't see the world the way you see it doesn't make me a chauvinist. What to me it is men need to be men. And I think this world has been eroded to the point where men are no longer men. And they have the plumbing that they don't act like men. Men, I want to speak to you. Rise up. Be men. Because we need men with what's coming. You know, women too, but I'm a man, so I'm talking to men, whatever, you know. So I can talk to men, right? It's men, be men. Doesn't matter what they call you. You don't have to do as you're told. Of course, you love, you know, the Bible talks in honor, preferring one another, loving those around you. And I think true men are a strength, but they listen to those they love. They listen. And doesn't mean they have to do, but they listen. So God bless you. Stay safe, stay strong, keep preparing, and things are starting to heat up. It's in one way, it's an exciting time because it's our opportunity to reset, reevaluate our life, and move forward with what really matters. God bless.